we're required to solve this equation. It would fall under indices and logarithms. What you do is look at how you can simplify this type of equation. Sometimes this type of equation comes as a quadratic equation. So it's just a quadratic equation would be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now you have x being used already. So it could be, say, what would be now? Az squared plus bz plus c equals 0, whatever other number you want to use. So, see if you can get it as something squared, and then that something again not squared, and then a number. Clearly you have 8 as just a number at the end. You have 6 by 2x right here. Could this be written as a 2x squared? If we could do that, then part of our problem would be solved. So let's see what happens here. 4 to the x. With that, well, that 4 is 2 squared. So it's 2 squared to the x minus 6 times 2 to the x plus 8 equals 0. Alright? Now, 2 squared to the x. From your memory of the rules of indices, that when you have a number to a power, and then all of that raised to the another power, you multiply the powers. So if you have 2 squared, and that is cube, it means 2 square is 2 square, and then you have 3 of them multiplied, 2 square, 2 squared, right? But 2 squared means 2 by 2. And this one is 2 by 2. And this one is 2 by 2. So if you multiply all of them, you have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2's that you would have here. You have 2 to the 6. Same as 2 to the 2 by 3, right? You apply the same rule here. Let me just erase this. So this is 2 to the 2 times x, which is 2x, minus 6 by 2 to the x plus 8 equals 0. Now you look at it and say, notice, this is 2 to the 2x. This can be written as 2 to the x to the 2. You see that? Because just like how you have 2 to the 2 to the x, which means 2 to the 2x. It means 2 to the x by 2. So it's 2 to the x to the power of 2. Right? So you minus 2 to the x plus 8 equals 0. Now, you notice that you have a 2 to the x here. And this 2 to the x is squared. So what you can do is let 2 to the x be a single number. Right? Let's say 2 to the x equal p. Let's say it's p. What you have is p squared minus 2p. Oh, my, not 2p. I left off this 6 from this. I just realized it. Let me remove this and put the 6 there. Right, it is 6 times that. Okay, good. So, you have 2 to the x, which is p squared. P squared minus 6 times 2 to the x, which is p, plus 8 equals 0. Alright? Now, we could solve this. If you remember the quadratic equation, I could do that. We could use completing the square factorization. Let's try factorization. So if you have 1 multiplied by the item that is squared, if you remember the AC method, so in this case, what you have is a p squared plus b p plus c equals 0. Now remember, the minus 6p is the same as plus negative 6p. So in that case, a p squared, this is 1p squared, you know, but you don't bother to put the 1. So a is 1. B is negative 6, because the number that multiplies p is negative 6. You can write this as plus negative 6p. C is equal to 8. So with the AC method, you must find two numbers. They must multiply to give AC, and they add to give B. So the two numbers, you multiply them to give AC. In this case, A times C is 1 by 8, which is 8. And B is negative 6. Which two numbers multiply to give you 8 and add to give you negative 6? There's a 4 and a 2 that comes to mind. 4 by 2 is 8. Okay. Both of them must be positive or negative. 4 plus 2 is not negative 6, it's positive 6. So make both of them negative. Negative 4 plus negative 2 is same as negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Negative 4 by negative 2 is positive 8. So these are the numbers we're looking for. So p squared at one end plus 8 at the other end, but the middle, the negative 6p, we're going to split it into negative 4p minus 2p. It doesn't matter if you had put the negative 2p here minus 4p here. Wouldn't matter. Alright, so we factorize these two. So you have p outside the bracket, p minus 4 in the bracket, minus 2. Negative 2 into negative 2p goes positive p. Negative 2 into positive 8 goes minus 4. Negative 4. Right? Or the equal 0 is there. The p minus 4 is a common factor here. So let's put p minus 4 outside the bracket. Inside the bracket you have p minus 2 equals 0. So therefore, you have two things multiplied and the answer is 0. So one of those things must be 0, or maybe the other one is 0. Because when you have any number multiply 0, you get 0, right? Or maybe both of them are zeros. 0 times 0 is 0. So what you have here then is, if it is the case that p minus 4 is 0, then p equals 4. And if it is the case that p minus 2 is 0, then p equals 2. So p is equal to 2 or 4. Right? Now, p is 2 to the x. So 2 to the x is equal to 4, and 2 to the x is equal to 2. When 2 to the x is equal to 4, what you have is 2 to the x equal 2 to the 2. So therefore x equals 2. And when 2 to the x is equal to 2, it means 2 to the x is equal to 2 to the 1. So x would be 1. So the answers are x equals 1 and x equals 2. So x would be 1, or it would be 2. Alright? Let's test it out. Suppose x is 1. It means 4 to the 1 minus 6 times 2 to the 1 plus 8 equals 0, right? 4 to the 1 is 4, minus 2 to the 1 is 2, 2, 6, 12, plus 8 equals 0. So 4 minus, no, negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4, minus 4 equals 0. Alright, so that happens when x is 1, we see that. What happens when x is 2? Will it work? 4 to the 2 minus 6 by 2 to the 2 plus 8 equals 0. 4 squared is 16 minus 2 2 is 4, 4 6 24 plus 8 equals 0. 16 minus 24 is what? Negative 8. So negative 8 plus 8 equals 0. Alright, so we prove that those answers are correct. So answers, x equal 1, x equals 2. So those would be the answers to this question.